Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Flights. I am your host, Lazerbolt, and tonight we are in Australia already. We've been flying towards Australia for quite a while, and here we are. We're sitting in a little town called Cooktown, which is a historic little location here in the north part of Australia. Tonight we're going to be flying south, hitting a couple spots. Let's see here, what are a couple of them? We are going to be going to Cairns and to Townsville and Mackay. Some of the nice things about those areas are they're all along the Great Barrier Reef. So our first destination is what do they call it? The entry to the Great Barrier Reef, just because it's right there. So yeah, should be a good time. I have a little thing behind me called the Magnetic Island. Well, the Magnetic Islander. Okay, because I know once we get closer to Cairns, I believe it is, that is right offshore, this place called the Magnetic Island. And actually, oddly enough, that is what Captain Cook blamed for him going off course. He said that that island had some strange magnetic activity and it screwed his compass up, and that's what ran him aground. And ever since then, they've tested the island a million times, and there is no strange magnetic stuff going on there. But it's an interesting place. Yeah, I see we got some people checking in here. Our buddy Kineas, he's back there. He's in that F-16 tonight, so that's going to be pretty cool. Kineas says he's got egg foo young for dinner tonight. That's awesome, my man. I love egg foo young. That is one of my favorites. We got Atlas Skylines Club. Cheers, he says. Let's see. He's having his Earl Grey. Love that. Yeah, it's good to see everybody here. We're going to be taking off in about 3 or 4 minutes. We don't have to go too awful high tonight. There's not much elevation happening. I think we can get away with going let's go to 8,000 feet tonight. 8,000 feet should get us where we're going. So count on that. And let's try to do about 200 and... Well, let's start out at 230 knots and see how that goes. I think tonight's flight plan is slightly shorter than they normally are, so we don't want to finish too soon. So let's go 8,000 feet, 230 knots. When we take off out of here, let's take a left-hand turn to a heading of 154. Turn left to heading 154, and we're out of here in about 2 minutes. So yeah, let's get a comms check from everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? We got the whole gang here. We got Coast, we got Longhorn, we got Wingnut.
Enjoying my mudslide, my Mexican mudslide.
Oh, that always sounds so good.
Just remember, watch me fly into the woods again.
I'll be looking for that.
I think you got it all figured out this week. You had some control issues going on last week that really wasn't your fault. But yeah, I see you got that squared away. Should be a good time. Glad it's Friday myself. It was a good week. It was my birthday week. Had a good old time doing a bunch of nothing, eating and drinking and having a good time. Now it's the weekend.
Always looking forward to the weekend.
Oh yeah, me too. So I've been working real hard on an upcoming video. My personal favorite video that I make all years. Once a year I make a Star Wars video. I'm a big Star Wars fan. And yeah, I've been cranking away on that, trying to get that ready. I've want to have it done by Star Wars Day, which is May 4th. So I got just over 2 weeks to get her done, and been cranking away on it hard. Finally, I think I'm ready to send out the scripts to a couple people and have them do their lines, and we're going to be ready to go. So we've got less than a minute, guys and girls. Make sure you got your flaps and everything is all set. Ooh, Captain Hopper says he's standing by for tacos and takeoff. Right on, my man. Kenny has said he saw my lobster dinner that I posted for my birthday there. I cooked a filet mignon with a lobster tail and all the fixings. It was really good. Maybe when we're in the flight, I'll pop that video up. It's a 3-minute short, but it turned out good. Anyway, guys and girls, we're out of here very shortly, maybe 15 seconds or so. I'm just waiting for my clock to turn over. Check everything, got your last minute stuff, make sure you got your flight plan in, Make sure you're ready to turn left to a heading of 154. Okay, guys and girls, let's go ahead and get these birds up in the air. Get my parking brake turned off here. All right. Lazerbolt is spooling up and rolling. It's telling me I'm not using enough flaps, so let's go ahead and change that. I don't know how much flaps it wants me to have. That's about all I'm giving it. Yeah, hopefully everybody had a good week.
Yeah.
Eh. It was a week.
No, it was a week. Nothing exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours was pretty much picture perfect. Had some rain last weekend, and it hasn't rained all week, but we're supposed to get some moving back in Sunday.
All right. Yeah, it's been pretty rainy around here. At least it's warm. I love that. Nice and warm. Okay, let's see here if I can get some kind of action on my autopilot.
It was a nice 87 degrees down here in Tennessee today. And Coast, you'll be happy to know I got to see my first hummingbird today.
Ooh, hummingbirds out already.
It seemed kind of late. I thought I used to see them coming in the end of March, but here we are in the middle of April, and that was my first one.
Was it? They're usually out by now, huh? Well, I suppose around here it's been a little bit cooler than usual. It's not like it's never happened, but it's been a pretty cool April so far. And I've seen plenty of Aprils where it was still snowing. Not this year.
So we locked in our camp destination for our anniversary next month.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Where'd you choose?
We decided to go to Lake Oroville.
Okay, I'm unfamiliar with that.
That is the town that I want to say maybe 15, 20 years ago, and I might be way off on the date. They were worried about getting flooded out because the dam started falling apart and breaking down, and the town was all built at the bottom of the dam.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually the dam is actually in Flight Simulator, Lake Oroville, in Northern California. We were looking at going to the coast, but I was just browsing. I was like, oh, I want to go someplace different that we've never been to before. It's only 2 hours away.
Oh, that's nice too. Yeah, where you don't have to drive an entire day and a half to get there.
Yeah.
Neat.
So we actually part of the deciding factor was it was full hookups for $45 a night, which is
that's
water,
cheap.
electric, and sewer.
Gee, that's real cheap.
So, yeah, because that's why we gave up doing the hookup sites, because they were all $70 to $90 a night.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
this one's like
that's more
like a state
expensive
park.
than rent.
Yeah, you can just get a hotel if you're gonna spend that much. So, so we've been just doing dispersed. But it's like, you know what? This is gonna be kind of cool because it's kind of centrally located within a bunch of big cities and tourist cities and stuff like that. So we got like destinations to go all over the place that we'll be able to hit.
Very cool.
Taking off on Saturday the 16th and coming back the following Saturday.
Next month?
Till Sunday.
Well, obviously next month. Otherwise, that'd mean you left yesterday.
Yeah. But try to go Saturday to Sunday because we're coming back Memorial Weekend. But the campground was all booked up for Saturday and Sunday nights.
Right.
So like, we had to leave Saturday night. So it's like, all right. Well, we're planning on going Sunday to Saturday night. But our anniversary is Sunday. It's like, well, shoot, it's only 2 hours away. We'll just go on Saturday, and then we'll have all day at the campground, and then Sunday we can go into town and for our anniversary and have a nice dinner.
Oh, there you go. Find a nice little place.
Yeah, and we'll just come
Cool.
back on the following Saturday, and then have Sunday and Monday at home before I got to go back to work.
Well, it's neat that you said it's a new place for you too. I like that. Just check something out, completely different, and it's not super far. Yeah, I see our buddy Kineas is over in that F-16, and I love that. That looks really good with these Hercules. I am fully established on the flight path, so we're heading in. Thanks, Captain Hopper says that steak looked pretty good. I agree, it was good. Yep. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and bring that up right now. It's a short, quick video. I can show you guys how that turned out. Yeah, it's so hard to beat a good filet mignon. That's the best. Absolute best cut of meat. I'm not that big of a fish eater, so I could take or leave the lobster tail. It was really good. I enjoyed it. But, yeah, you know, I can take or leave. As long as I got a good steak, I'm good to go. Yeah, let me bring this up on the stream here. Everybody check out this lobster dinner I had.
First we start with a nice high-quality filet mignon. Look at this bad boy.
Check that out.
Keep it simple and season it with salt and pepper and make sure you get all the sides. Alright, we'll start to prepare this lobster tail. The first thing we do is cut it down the back with a pair of scissors. Then carefully separate the meat from the shell here. Now take all the meat and pull it right out of the shell, but leave the bottom of it attached like this. And then close the shell back up and place the meat on top. Just like that. Now spoon some melted butter over the top. And we'll hit it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of paprika, and finish it off with some garlic powder. This bad boy is going to go in the broiler for about 3.5 minutes, and that should do it. You can tell when it's done, when it's less translucent.
Yeah, this is one of those meals that it's a really fancy, absolutely beyond delicious meal, but it's pretty simple. Nothing too extravagant here. Nothing hard to make.
You can leave them both in pretty nice big chunks because we're going to remove this from the pan anyway. We're just using this to season the pan and the butter. Real good that way. Once our garlic and onions is sauteed nicely, we're going to go ahead and put that on a plate. Now pop that filet mignon into that beautiful flavored butter, and we'll let this cook for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side.
These days when I'm camping, I'm going to bring a couple filet mignon and grill them over a wooden fire. That'll be real good that way. Throw some onions on there.
Continue basting it with the butter. See how the butter keeps cooking on top of it because it's so hot? And when it's about a minute away,
That do look good there, Mr. Lazerbolt.
It smells good. I can smell it now, boy.
Just like that. And
There's nothing better than the smell of onions and garlic. It is just the perfect start to cooking anything. Anything. Everything I cook starts with onions and garlic.
And a couple honey butter biscuits.
Good thing this is only digital.
Let's go ahead and give this filet a try. That looks amazing. Look at that. The perfect medium rare. Delicious. Well, happy my birthday.
How's your weather, Longhorn?
Thanks for watching.
Looking
We'll see
bad
you next
still?
time. Bye now.
No, the weather was actually fine. It was the TAWs that I was looking at when I saw the yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Because those peaks off to our right were all showing red on my radar.
First, we start with a nice high-quality filet mignon.
No, it's just like, I would say, few to intermittent clouds.
We got a guy in chat here. Pontiac91 says, "Good day, mate." Maybe he's an Australian. Cool. He says, "Thanks for the tutorial videos on this aircraft." My pleasure. You can probably tell I very much enjoy this aircraft. This is one of my favorite. We also have a guy here in chat with us. Captain Dan, I think it says. Greetings, Captain Dan. Yeah, Pontiac says he is indeed Australian. Nice. Nice. I happen to live not too far from a town called Pontiac, Michigan. That's where my Lions used to be based out of. Now they're based in Ford Field.
A Pontiac went to Ford. Is that it?
Pontiac went to Ford, indeed. Yeah, that's where we had a really nice stadium there for years. It was like one of the biggest stadiums there was. It was really nice. The Pontiac Silverdome. That's where the Lions performed terribly for decades. And now we got a nice little place called Ford Field. Beautiful, very modern, ergonomic place, easy to get in and out of. All the facilities are nice. And that's what we got going on now, Ford Field. We're doing much better. I'm not saying it's the venue, but we are doing much better now.
So how are you in the Stanley Cup these days?
You know, I don't know. I don't think we're doing all that good. I usually only watch hockey when the Red Wings are doing good. And I haven't heard one way or the other that we're doing good or bad. So I don't watch them too much. My sport is football. I watch football. Football is the only sport that I can watch anybody play. I don't care who's playing. I can enjoy the game. But all the rest of the sports, like baseball, hockey, it's got to be the Detroit team, or I'm not interested in watching. But I don't know. How are you guys doing? Do you know? Is Buffalo doing pretty good? They got playoffs going on?
We led the Eastern League, and we're going to be playing the Boston Bruins, I guess.
Ooh.
Coming up, either
Ooh,
this
Boston.
weekend or something.
I love anytime anybody beats Boston, so go ahead and do that.
People in Buffalo love beating Boston.
I think everybody does. What is yours nice around here? This is beautiful. This northern part here, especially before we get to that first airport. This is like the northern. I think they call it it's the northern Queensland. It's basically a tropical area, real nice and tropical. Yeah, you get further south, it's not so tropical anymore. But this is what we got going on here, and we are pretty much approaching the Great Barrier Reef. I don't know how much of it we can see. Probably quite a bit of it, I'm guessing. So when we get to our first destination, which is Cairns International at Yankee Bravo Charlie Sierra, we're going to be landing on runway 15. That's kind of straight in. So count on that. Count on runway 15. The good news is we have an ILS approach going on here. 109er, decimal 9er. That's a lot of fun. So let's see here. We got over 10,000 feet of asphalt. That's way plenty for what we got going on. So count on that. Runway 15 at an ILS a frequency of 109er, decimal 9er. And let's see here. The heading of that, the course heading for the runway is 150. That is absolutely right on the money. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that set. Tune my comms radio here. Tune it to navigation. What, 1099. Here we go. Got our VOR 1 set. Change our course heading to a 150. Just like that. I think that easy. We are all set and ready for that first approach. Pretty straight in, so it all should be pretty easy to manage. This was a very short leg, though. You'll notice we're only 40 miles out still. So, actually, it's not too early to go ahead and, gosh, I don't know, maybe another 5 miles, maybe 10 miles. When we're about 30 miles, I'm going to bring her down to 4,000 feet. Right now we're at 8. Good time to go ahead and switch over to the heading hold. Then I can change my CDI over to INAV or to VOR. And then we have our VOR information happening. We're right in line. Got a early evening flight going on here. As we go, the colors in the sky will get deeper and richer, and it's going to be very nice indeed. Yeah, Coast, I was talking earlier about how I made a tutorial how to fly this Dirty 30, but also that one that you are in that, the Captain Sim C-130H. I've got a nice tutorial on that too. It explains how to do some ILS landings and how to use the autopilot, and even startup procedures for it. So yeah, check that out, man. It's pretty much everything I could teach you.
I look forward to doing it all sometime.
Right on. Well, I know it's quite a beast, and yeah, I know you're just getting back into the sim situation, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get my other computer to work right. No joy yet.
No joy yet. Well, it sounds like that laptop that your daughter let you borrow is really kind of doing the trick.
Oh yeah. They are just coming back from Disney World.
Oh, Disney
Disneyland.
World. Well, how lucky. Yeah, that sounds great. Disney World is the one in Anaheim, not the one in Orlando?
No, she's down in the one in Florida.
Oh, okay. That's the
That
only
is
one
Disney World.
that's the one I've been to. I was really little. I was like 5. And yeah, I remember loving it. It was cool. Back then, that was early 70s. The biggest, coolest thing that I saw was the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It was great. I loved that. I just thought that was awesome. And I hate water. I hate water. Like, if I had a choice to jump out of an airplane or jump out of a boat, I would jump out of an airplane every time. I cannot stand like deep water and stuff and being in the ocean. But something about that ride, and it's all underwater, it was creepy and thrilling, and absolutely, I loved it. We're 26 miles out, so it is time to go ahead and descend a little bit. Actually I already did. I've received the telemetry. I'm going to go ahead and bring it down. I'm not locked onto the ILS feather yet. Okay, let's see here. 4,000 feet. Bring it down. Yeah, we don't want to bring it down too far. There is a little bit of a like a cliff here on the shore. I am going to hit my approach hold and latch onto that. Navigation is captured. Now I'm just waiting for that glide slope. And glide slope captured. Okay. I didn't expect that yet. I'm not even down to 4,000 feet. I'm not even close. Hopefully this all works out okay. The glide slope indicator appears to be just above the horizon, so that's good. Or at least right around it. And it is adjusting my vertical speed. I think we're good to go here. Coming in. We're about 19 miles out from Cairns International. Not McCarran, a whole different place. It's also not too soon to begin slowing down. I'm going to drop down to 200. Well, so far this has just been a great approach. It helps when it's straight in like this. Going to begin slowing down and adding a couple notches of flaps here. Perfect approach. Another 4 miles, I'm going to begin worrying about my gear. So far, so good. We got Nerd Droid 1 flying with us. I like that. Nerd Droid, greetings and welcome to the flight. I can't quite tell what you're in just yet, but I like that you're here. Happy Friday.
Showing him as an F-14 Tomcat.
Nice. Very nice. Very suitable.
Can't see his plane right now, but that's what it was showing.
I have a feeling I'm not going to see him, and he's going to be invisible for me. But I like what he's flying, because I don't have that 14. Oh yeah, he's got that Tomcat. Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't have a substitute for him. That's a shame. Matt, we're glad you're here. Just look at the geography around here. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful area. All right, y'all. It's time to slow down, and get that gear out.
Right on your 6, Longhorn. What's your speed?
160.
Don't forget your auto throttle, as always. That's an easy one to forget. I'm right on your 6 also, Wingnut. I'm going to slow to 140.
I'm at 1.5 because I was about to eat up. I was about to ride into his cargo compartment. Let's say that.
You want me to open it for you?
Yeah, it might help. Give it a little extra runway.
Okay, because I'm going to start.
This looks really nice. It might not be so pretty once we get on the ground, but this looks really nice right now. I think we're good to go. Looks like everybody's fully established and looking like a beast. Good beans. Yeah, Wingnut, we got plenty of distance between us. We're good to go. This is the shortest leg of the evening by far. The next couple are, you can sit back and relax a little bit and chit-chat. This really looks nice around here. I love this. Oh, Mia Scully says, sorry, but she must go. Chaos Day. Yep. She wishes us a good flight and see us next Friday. Well, yeah, I wish you could fly with us a little bit longer, Mia. It's always a pleasure. But, yeah, you take care of business and have a good weekend. Just, this terrain is awesome. Loving it.
Sorry, Longhorn. I didn't know you were slowing down.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I'm just a passenger here. I don't know how to fly this thing.
Well, I got a good view of what you're doing, so we'll be able to see that. I'm going to be swinging up here right next to you, Coast. Oh, I almost forgot my auto throttle. I hate when I do that. Alright, auto throttle off. We got a lot of congestion going on up here at the moment, but yeah. I don't know how slow you're planning on going, Longhorn, but come on, man.
I'm at 130 now.
You're at 130.
Yep.
You must have a strong headwind. So I'm at I was at 109, almost ready to fall out of the sky, and I was still catching up to you. I think we're good now, though. Yeah, we're good. And Coast, that wasn't a bad landing at all for somebody trying to get used to that bird, and that's quite a beast. All right, I think this is going to work out just fine. Try to get out of everybody's way here. Whoop. Got near droid. I'm going to crash him if I'm not careful. The colors and everything around here are just great. Whoopsie. Kinius. Oh no, buddy.
Kinius, don't eject. Not upside down. Anyway.
Yeah, that's how Goose got it. Yeah, I know that that F-16 is quite a beast. You really got to wrangle it. I have another pilot here joining us, a QFA. That might be an actual airliner instead of a player. They came in right behind us. Right on. Well, let's join back up on this runway. I believe our entire group is down and safe. Well, we're down. And yeah, we'll get ready for that next leg. Like I said, this was an uncommonly short leg we got here in a hurry. Yeah, Coast, it looks like you're definitely getting the hang of that bird. That last landing was pretty good.
Did I land it?
Yeah, it looked like you landed.
Gee, that surprises me.
I'm sure everybody in the back of your plane is happy.
They all left.
As soon as the wheels touched ground, they bailed, huh? Alright, we're going to go ahead and get these birds out of here in just a few minutes. Let's make sure we're all set here. Check your flaps. Get set up for that second leg. Important thing you want to do is to switch your CDI. Switch that back over to INAV1. That'll be helpful. This leg, we're also going to climb up to 8,000 feet like that last one, so count on that. 8,000. Same thing, I think 230 knots is perfect. Yeah, it looks like our next destination is roughly at a heading of 150, pretty much straight ahead. Count on that. We're going to take off out of here, climb to 8,000, fly heading 150 at 230 knots. I think we're holding up the traffic pattern behind us. We got airplanes trying to come in, but they're just going to have to wait. Got a real nice group here tonight. I think I got some kind of terrain mesh weirdness happening around here. Still looks nice though. Okay, let's go ahead and get these birds out of here. Looks like everybody's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Lazerbolt is spooling up. Let's roll. Keeps complaining about my trim and my flaps, and whatever.
Yeah, I'm getting a trim warning.
I think I was trimmed up a little bit too much, and that's why my wheels lifted off even before I was at VREF. What a nice area. It's quite an airport too. You look at this place, it's huge.
What heading are you on?
150. It's pretty much straight ahead all the way there. Just beautiful. All right. Let's get this autopilot kicked in here. First, get rid of those flaps so we don't break them. All right, climbing steady. Still waiting for Blackbird to come out with the patch that tones down them prop vortexes just a little. A bit much.
Yeah, I hope they do. Hope they do it soon.
I'm a little surprised they haven't done it already. You know, I mean, that seems like an easy thing to. Well, hopefully what they're trying to do is they're trying to fix it instead of just getting rid of it. Because I like it, it's just a little much. If they turned it down a little bit, or made that layer a little more transparent, it would be pretty cool.
I got the impression when he used the word amend that that's what they meant.
Yeah, I was glad to hear that too. Like I said, I like it. I don't want to see them be like, well, that didn't work, we're going to get rid of it. I don't want that. I like the fact that they tried to make it work. Alright, I am about to level off at 8,000. Remember, we're flying these legs at a heading of, at a speed of 230 indicated. We're good to go. Beautiful, and it's just going to keep getting more and more beautiful as we get these evening colors happening around here. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm moving up to about 7,000.
We're going to 8, so you're good. Oh, almost took you out.
Yeah, I just realized I'm sitting here talking and talking, and I had my mic off.
Oh, thought you was awful quiet.
Yeah, I was. I was just telling you guys all about the new show I'm watching. That you guys remember a show called Malcolm in the Middle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny show. I really liked it, and it was unique for a sitcom. Well, they're doing a bit of a revival show. I mean, that show was on like maybe 15, 20 years ago is when it ended. Maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It's been a while. But they're doing a little bit of a revival of it. They got some new episodes, 4 new episodes to be, as a matter of fact. It's kind of neat how they're doing it on Hulu. And there's 4 new episodes. They're roughly a half hour long. And if you put them all together, it kind of makes a movie. You know what I mean? So it's almost like a Malcolm in the Middle movie that shows what happened years later. And of course, all the kids are all grown up now. They got the entire everybody back, not just the main cast, but everybody. All the neighbors, all the kids from school, all of his friends, everybody you ever met in the show is back. Except for one guy, the kid that played the youngest kid. He's not an actor anymore. He got out of the business and he's doing other stuff. But he didn't come back. But everybody else is back in the show, and it's very good. I've been really liking it. It's funny. It reminds me of why I liked the show so much in the first place. That it's well written, it's funny, it's different, it's a little weird, especially like the main character Hal, the guy played by Bryan Cranston, the dude from Breaking Bad. I forgot just how weird his character is. He's a bizarre dude, but bizarre in like the most charming, endearing way. You know what I mean? Hal is just like, here's just a perfect example of it. Is like, this is the only sitcom I can think of to where, I'm sure there's others out there, but most sitcoms, the family's kind of at each other's throats, and that's definitely going on around here. They're all at each other's throats, but he is so deeply, madly in love with his wife Lois. I mean, just absolutely, he's bonkers for her, even after all these years. And in a funny way. You know what I mean? It's endearing and it's funny, and he just acts like a complete. He's like a mental case most of the time, and it's really funny show, and I'm digging it, and I'm glad to have it back on. There's only 4 episodes, so it's pretty easy to catch up on the whole thing. Pretty much, like I said, it's like watching a Malcolm in the Middle movie that explains what happened to everybody, years later, where the kids are all grown up. And yeah, if you get a chance to see that, check it out. It's on Disney Plus, Hulu, and I really dug that. I hope that might lead to them doing more of a series out of it instead of just this 4 episode thing. But yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Like I said, it reminded me of why I liked Malcolm in the Middle in the first place. That it's been so long since I've seen any episodes of it, and now I remember it's like, yeah, that was actually pretty good. I think I'm gonna go right through you, Wingnut. I was gonna try to increase my altitude, and then I thought, nah, screw it.
It's all right. I was doing 293, so I slowed down to let you all catch back up.
I had the same thing going on. I was going way too fast. Like I said, about the time I slowed down is when you come up and caught me. Hello. Sure like that paint job you got. It's pretty sharp.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh.
the orange on there with the orange and gray. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I see. I think everybody's in a different paint job today. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, I cannot see Nerd. I like the fact that he's up here flying formation in that fighter jet. I wish I could see him. Yeah, I think Longhorn is in that Coast Guard paint job. I like that too. Of course, the one I'm in is the Air Force. Pretty standard Air Force colors going on. I'm slowly creeping up on you.
You know what's weird is when you got right close to me, your airplane disappears for me for some reason.
Really?
It's never done that before. Yeah.
Huh.
Unless
I'm like basically touching you, and I can see you just fine. I'm gonna try to go up over you. Hopefully this doesn't cause a big problem.
no worries.
Whoop,
Now
we
I can
go.
see you.
Hello. I lost track
Must
of
be
you.
my graphics settings or something because I had to change them.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Get a couple more miles an hour on you so I can get up front and lead this flight. So we just passed by a decent looking runway. We might have been able to land there. Looks like a asphalt runway and a dirt runway they had going on. Oh, I think Bob must have paused the game.
I did. I'm going to look at my graphics for a second here.
You're right on. How close did I have to get before I disappeared?
Like feet away.
Almost touching. Okay.
Almost.
Because yeah, I never lost track of you. I mean, we were literally touching, and I could still see you. It's like you've got the reverse of what goes on with the 2024 version of the Captain Sim Hercules. To where on those, you can't see the guy until you do get close enough to touch him. Then all of a sudden, there he is. Yeah, I wish I could see that the F-35 that Nerd Droid is in. I can tell he's holding a pretty good formation up here.
I'm going to try to catch back up to you and see if it does it again.
Right on.
Changed him.
But you just bumped up your aircraft details?
Yeah.
There is a setting also to show aircraft in close proximity.
That is true.
Maybe you turn that off.
Right. So you don't ghost through people. They just disappear and you don't see them. I think some people like that because it's less jarring or whatever.
I may have because I had to readjust everything when my system crashed.
Oh, yeah, that happens. Yeah, we got Longhorn coming up here with that Coast Guard paint job. Very cool. 96 miles out from our second destination. Matter of fact, let's get a little bit of information here for this next airport. I love the amount of effort that they put into naming this city. They named the city Townsville. Okay, nice. Let's go to Townsville. It's a pretty big place, too.
Yeah, I laugh at all the cities around me that all end in Ville. Even the one I live in.
Well, I mean, ending in Ville is one thing, but Townsville? It's like, okay, we got Townsville and Cityville and Villeville. Couldn't come up with better than Townsville. They had people thinking long and hard about that name, and they came up with Townsville.
Well, ours they named after a guy and then stuck Ville at the end of it.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, me too. The town I went to high school in, it's only about 6 miles away from here, where I'm at right now. It's called Scottville. And if you ever hear anybody who's not from there pronounce it, they always say they add an S to it. They call it Scottsville. I've heard that a million times. Scottsville. It's like, it's not Scottsville. It's just Scottville. And it's a little rinky-dink little farm town.
I'm hearing something called Williamsville.
Williamsville. Oh, they got the Vills all over, don't they?
It's called Willville.
Will. Well, let's see here. When we come into this next airport, we're going to be coming in on runway 19. So count on that. Count on runway 19. However, the reciprocal runway of 1 has a ILS approach. So why don't we go ahead and set this up for a back course.
The Dirty 30 doesn't do that.
You know what? I was just thinking of, as I was saying it, I'm like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? If it has it, I don't know how to do it. I can do it in the Captain Sim one.
Yeah, there is a VOR 19 chart, so you can get your navigation. You just won't have a
right.
flat
You can
slope.
just log on to that. Well, I think in that case, I'm just going to ignore that ILS altogether. We're just going to do runway 19 and get there however you get there. It's pretty straight in-ish. Let's see here.
Okay. I think I'm going to do the VOR at least, so I can at least line up with it.
I'm just going to set my course heading to 150 or 190, and then I'll know that I'm lined up with it, but it won't do it automatically. By the way, the heading for that is 197 magnetic. 197 magnetic. Alright. At least now I can see where that runway is. Let's see here. Get back to my heading hold. Get back to the nav select. Set my CDI to VOR1. And boom. That is the direction of the runway when we get there. Good beans. We're only 81 miles out, guys and girls, so count on that. Keep that in mind. We're coming in at runway 19. Not much elevation here. It's pretty much sea level, so you're not going to have to figure that into it. And we are in the vicinity of the Great Barrier Reef. All along here is the Great Barrier Reef. And I believe one of these islands just offshore of Townsville, one of these islands is, it's called Magnetic Island. And it was called that by Captain Cook himself. Captain Cook named it Magnetic Island because he blamed that island for running him ashore. Said that there was some weird magnetic activity going on. It screwed his compass up, and that's why they crashed.
He must have had some magnets in his grog.
Right, he had magnets in his head or something. But because they've tested every test they could test on that island, and they're like, nah, it's just normal. There's nothing weird going on there. It really was like there was a fellow flying with us last week, an Australian guy. I wish I could remember his name. It'd be nice if he was here. But yeah, he did mention how it was impressive that Captain Cook made it as far as he did, because especially back in the day with he didn't have any kind of navigation stuff to help you get around the coral reef and all that, and he did a pretty good job up until he didn't. But he did a really good job to get as far as he did. Lucky for him, he ran ashore at a place called Cooksville, which obviously they named it Cooksville after him, or Cooktown. More of this absolutely beautiful geometry. Look at this beach down here. Oh, nice curved beach. Looks like a good place to get away from it all. There's no town nearby or nothing. Kineas, why don't you get that bird up here so I can sit a little closer? I love that thing. And by the way, people should be checking out Kineas's streams. He streams all the time, and he has a lot of fun over there. I like he incorporates a bit of a story into his thing, and he does a lot of career missions. Yeah, it's pretty nice. He does a good job over there. Here we go. We got F-18. I love that split tail it has in the back there, kind of a V-shaped situation. Kenny says he's just learning this darn thing, trying to figure out the speed controls and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm with you. I've never been super crazy about flying jets. It's just I'd like a good prop. Jets are a whole different thing, especially a fighter jet. For me, I've always found them rather twitchy, and also, well, you know, for instance, like slowing down. You got to start slowing down way, way ahead of time before you even notice a couple miles an hour falling off. You got to pull that throttle back 3 miles before you intend to. It's just it takes a lot of work on a jet. Well, it takes a lot of time for the engines to spool up and down. Our buddy Coast up here.
Or do the infamous S-turns.
Yeah, do a lot of that. Do some fishtail and try to slow down. Yeah, Coast, you got that Captain Sim C-130 looking pretty good around here. Nerdroid says that F-35 is easy. I'm pretty sure that F-35, that's like our latest, newest high-tech, newest generation fighter. Pretty sure that's what that is. That might be the one that doesn't even have a window. There's not even a glass window. It just has a bunch of screens on the inside. Pretty sure. Not 100% on that one, but I think that's the one it is. Yeah, Kennius agrees. I remember last week Kennius was in that F-35 too. Yeah. That might be one that I'm already seeing a lot of people enjoying that aircraft. I might have to buy that just so I can see people properly. I'll probably never fly it myself, but I like to be able to see people. Let's see if I can get a deal on that. We're only 56 miles out. Bear that in mind. We're going to have to take a slight left-hand turn to get on course for that runway 19er. Oh, really? Nerdroid says the F-35B is VTOL. That I did not know. That's pretty handy.
It's got a lifting fan in the back. You see that? When you look at the 35s, there'll be some little piece of metal that comes up in the back of the cockpit.
You can vector the thrust down and get you off the ground.
Fan.
That's pretty cool.
Jet.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, if I can hear.
It's a replacement for the Harrier.
Oh, is it? Okay. I've always liked that Harrier too, but that thing's not easy to fly. Even like real-world pilots say that Harrier, you better know what you're doing. Hey, Coast, bring that bird up here. Let's get a good look at you. Looks a lot like the same paint job I'm in. I think these are both Air Force paint jobs. Pretty cool. Look at you. Look at you flying with us. It's about time, buddy. We missed you. You said it was almost a year. Well, we're 47 out. When I'm about 30 out, I'm going to start worrying about my altitude here. Probably it's not too early. I'm going to go ahead and turn left to a heading of 140. That'll get us lined up for that runway. beautiful evening here. Longhorn, did your weather ever change? You got anything nasty going on?
Nope, just scattered clouds.
That's good. You don't have to worry about that lightning bolt shooting through your cockpit. It occurs to me that this is our penultimate stop for the evening. So yeah, it's already time to take that 10-minute break, guys. So when we get down, we'll park up on the side of the runway. We'll take a 10-minute break. That's plenty of time to go down and like and subscribe on the video. That always makes you feel good. Big endorsement rush. And as you're down there, grab the information for the flight. Grab where we're going and what we're flying, and you can meet us at that airport. It's a pretty small install for the game if you haven't installed it yet, so you can do that quickly. And yeah, we would love to have anybody joining us. It's a lot of fun around here. We fly very casual. Alright, I'm going to prepare to descend all the way down to about 2,500. Let's do that. 2,500 feet. Another couple miles, I am going to do that.
We going to Palm Island?
That's not where we're going, but Palm Island is just offshore of Townsville. I'm not sure which one of these islands around here is Magnetic Island, but one of them is. Yeah, this right here, there's a runway right on that island. We're going directly over it. Hard to tell how long it is, but I bet it's big enough for us. Full flaps and all that whatnot.
I'm going to follow Longhorn in.
I'm going to go ahead and bring her down. We're at 32 miles out. I'm going to drop her down to 2,500 feet. Yeah, I will never understand how I can be spinning this control pitch knob. I can spin it down and it always goes up until I give it like 3 full revolutions and it starts going down. And then it goes down like a rocket. Now I have to go back the other way to try to level it out. I don't get that. I do not understand what's going on there. It's not very... There's no subtlety to it. It just tosses you around.
Mine's actually been behaving relatively well tonight.
I'm not having too much trouble because I'm kind of trying to stay on top of it. But if you're kind of daydreaming and you forget that that's what's going on, it's like, whoop, next thing I know, I'm trying to go down. Instead, I'm shooting straight up like a rocket.
So where you going, Longhorn? I'm following you, so I might as well ask you where you're going.
Well, I've got it set for the VOR, but I think the VOR actually brings me in at an odd angle. So I'm just going to kind of get lined up with the runway and then make a right-hand turn. But it's like really hazy, so I can't really see anything.
Thanks for the warning.
I see ships. Actually, if I pull my chart up, let's see, that was, where are we at? There it is. I should see my plane. Oh, there it is, yeah.
Just waiting for my airport pointer to line up with my runway pointer. But I'm going to turn final runway 19er. Probably got a few miles here. I'm still 24 out. descending through 4,000 for 2,500. Yeah, I see all those the nav aids they got on the map there. There's a whole string of them going right to the airport. But you're looks like you're heading straight for that one that's on the coast of that island, perhaps.
Yeah.
November Yankee Echo Yankee, or Yankee November Echo Yankee. Maybe not.
Well, let me see. Where's this chart bringing in? I don't know what that is. There's just an F on the chart on the island, and that's where the VOR is coming in.
That's where it's taking you. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. But it says it's at 212 degrees, so it brings it in at an angle, and then I'm going to have to apparently make a left-hand turn when I get near the runway. So I might just avoid that altogether and just get more to the western edge of that island and then line straight up with the runway.
Right. It almost looks like if you're coming in from the other way, well, of course, there's a lot of nav aids from the other way. There's that ILS approach. Yeah, I'm just going to wait until, like I said, I'm just going to eyeball it here. Once that arrow that points towards the airport lines up with my runway, I'm going to go ahead and take it. Yeah, Nerddroid says Kenny has told him about you today, Lazerbolt. Pleasure to tag along with you guys. Well, it is awesome. It's good to have you here, man. Like I said, one of these days I'm going to check into getting that 35 because people seem to like it. That would not be a bad airplane for me to have in my hangar just for the main course. I could actually see you guys. I like that. If that's something people like to fly, that'd be a good investment. I can see where the runway is going to be. You know what? No, I'm going to wait a little bit. I was going to say, I'm not sure I'm high enough to get over the mountain that's on that island. And our airport is over here, so we're going to have to get over that. I'm going to wait until I'm just past that little peak and then turn. Whoop, take us right in. I think if I turned right now, I'd have a problem. I'm not quite lined up with it yet, but it's getting close. 14 out.
I'm just over on your left wing.
Hey, buddy. Like that bird.
Be curious if this thing does latch onto the VOR, if it like kicks me way off to the left of where I want to be.
It seems like you're close enough. It should have latched on already, right?
No, it still says nav armed. It hasn't latched on. But it's okay. It's cool because it overlays my aircraft on the chart, so I see where the runway is on the chart and where my little airplane is. So
that is handy. I never noticed that it did that before. That's pretty handy. I am pretty much, as soon as I get past, you can see that little peak on that island there. As soon as I get past that, it's time to turn for that runway. I can see the runway already. At that time, I will also begin slowing down. Actually, I should do that right now. I'm going to slow down to 200. Okay. Turning final, runway 19er. Let's slow to 150. Yeah, of course, I gave myself a master caution here. Going gear down.
Oh, I'm flying right over Nelly Bay. This like a down in a big valley and some kind of a huge building down there, or a big ship sitting in the middle of the harbor.
Oh, really? There's plenty of ships around here, I noticed. You said there's a ship looks like it's on the shore?
Yeah, it's right straddling the middle of the bay, and all the little boats are sitting. It's on top of all of them. Big old tanker.
Huh. Pretty cool. Alright, I need to get this bird down. Reminder, we're going to get down take 10. Pet the dog. Grab yourself a drink and a snack. Tell the old lady she's pretty. They love to hear that.
Now, if you don't mean it,
Well, you better mean it. They'll catch on to that in a hurry.
you got it.
If you play your cards right, she'll let you fly longer. Okay. Finally getting lined up at this runway. Been kind of squirreling all over the place. I got some wicked lightning going on outside my window. Love it. Everybody likes a good thunderstorm.
You mean your real window or your aircraft window?
My real window.
I was thinking, I thought you were doing a few clouds.
Yeah, no, I ain't got no weather in game. Nothing fancy. Don't forget auto throttles, everyone, all around. Auto throttle can be a killer if you don't turn it off.
Goes back to that what was that movie where they turned on the autopilot? The guy, it pops up. This thing pops up.
Airplane?
Yeah, airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally autopilot. His name was Otto.
Yeah.
All right, coming in.
I can't believe for such a big aircraft, this thing glides like a kite.
It does not like to come down, does it? Like you said, a kite is a good way to describe it as it's coming in. You get full flaps going, and that wing just makes that big scoop, and it just wants to keep flying. Nice landing, Bob. Looking good over there. And try not to shoot too much dirt across the runway. Longhorn coming in, straight and steady. Beauty. The Coast Guard would be lucky to have you. Coast coming in good. Looking nice. Of course, on my stream, I've got a tour bus crossing the runway. Coast, that was outstanding. If you didn't have somebody parked in the middle of the runway, that would have been real nice.
No.
I kid. I know it can't be avoided often. Yeah, that was nice. Everybody got down real good.
There's an interesting looking mountain peak there that's got the word Townsville on top of it.
Really? Townsville on top of a mountain peak.
Or at least that's where I see the writing for it. I mean, it might be on the other side of it.
Yeah, it almost looks like a volcano, but it's kind of chunky.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought was like, ooh, look at that volcano. But then I thought, is that a volcano? That looks like maybe a hill that had part of it sheared off. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull up over here, and we'll take a 10-minute break. We're going to call this 20 past the hour. So whatever hour you're on, this is 20 past it. And at half past the hour, at 30 whatever, we're in the air. We're going to be back up in the air. So take a 10-minute break. Go ahead and use the restroom, grab a snack, like and subscribe. Hit that bell or whatever people say to do. Sorry, Bob, I almost backed right into you. I wanted to get off that part of the runway where I'm shooting dust off all over the place.
Airplane keeps disappearing on me still.
When you get too close, I disappear.
Yep.
That does sound like what Longhorn mentioned, though. The what do they call that?
Show aircraft in close proximity.
Yes. I'm pretty sure you want that on.
Yeah, otherwise it makes them disappear.
Go see if I can find it.
I think it's at the very bottom of whatever menu it's on. Or whatever options and features it is. It's like the very bottom of it. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can find that option. Graphics. Global. Nope, definitely not that one. Not dynamic. Online.
Hey, Vulcan Nerd hops into the chat saying, "Happy birthday!" Well, thanks, Vulcan Nerd. That's my buddy JMB. My birthday was Tuesday, but I'll take another happy birthday. Can't get enough of them.
Okay, Wingnut, it's under online data connection.
Okay.
And then there's a checkbox for show multiplayer aircraft in close proximity.
That does sound exactly like it would be it.
Okay, yeah, it was unchecked, so I'll put that on. Thanks.
It's weird how it just randomly starts changing stuff sometimes.
Well,
Without even
I
an
had to-
update.
Yeah, I had to reload the sim, so a lot of things got unchecked, and I spent hours trying to reset up my controls and going back to
Oh,
my
boy.
original settings.
That's always
So
fun, isn't it?
I missed that one, I guess. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Right on. is really thunder and lightning going on.
So how do I'm not seeing planes get too close by. I'm in multiplayer, online multiplayer data connection here. What are we looking for?
You got the same problem, Coast? You can't see people real close to you?
Nope.
Well, I already forgot what Longhorn said to do, like what menu that's in. Online menu, I think.
I'm in the online menu and I'm on data connection. So you want the air traffic, traffic type.
Well, there should be something.
Yeah.
It's called show aircraft in close proximity.
I got that on.
Okay.
Show multiplayer aircraft in close proximity.
And you still can't see us?
Yep. Not that. I mean, I have to get up to within half a mile before I can see it.
You could see us when you pulled up just now, though, right?
Yep. But I have to get real close.
Really?
Probably the flight model is what it comes down to.
Well, what it probably is then, go into your graphics settings is what that would be. That's a graphics setting. Just show, I don't know if it's called multiplayer aircraft or live aircraft or whatever, but set that at ultra or high or as high as you can put it, because that not only that changes the quality of the aircraft, how high definition it is, but it also affects how far away you can see them. And the same goes true for animals and buildings and trees and everything else. Well, we're out of here in about 2 minutes, guys and girls. So, I'm going to go ahead and take this runway back and we'll get ready for this final leg. We're going to be departing here in about just over a minute. Okay, pilots, let's go ahead and take this last leg. We are going to climb to 8,000 feet. Climb to 8,000. Turn left to a heading of 123. Left to a heading of 123. And maintain 230 knots indicated. So, Make sure you got your flaps all set and everything's ready to go. Let's get this bird in the air. Lazerbolt's rolling. Boy, it is coming down like cats and dogs out there right now. Goodness. We might not want to turn to the left too awful soon. Wait until we get at least over that mountain range that's over there. Okay, I think I'm about high enough. Lazerbolt is turning to a heading of 123. Going to be going right over, or at least right nearby. Looks like they've got some radio antennas on top of this mountain here. Must be like the tallest area in the area. It's good for broadcasting them signals. Actually, it looks like a nice little complex they got up here, doesn't it?
Don't forget to put your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, I might need it. That 6G wireless is going to scramble you, apparently. Look at that. All right, 173 miles to go. Don't forget to switch your CDI back over to iNav 1. .230 indicated. Everything's looking good around here. Leveling out at 8,000. Yeah, we had that guy here in Discord with us for a little bit. Captain Dan, I think his name was, if I read it correctly. He left, and then he came back again and left. I'm wondering if he was having comms issues, couldn't get his mic working or something. But it's always nice to have people join us.
I feel good on just keeping the airplane with the group this game flight. The other flight I did, I wasn't even there.
I feel good just having you here, man. This is great seeing you back up in the sky.
When I get better, I'll see if I get the C-47 going.
Oh, hell yeah. I wouldn't mind scheduling a couple C-47 flights. I know how much you like that. And I like it too. I like them old warbirds, and that's a good one. Especially for a default aircraft. It's pretty nice.
In a fighter, you have to plan way ahead. But in the C-47, you got to do a little bit of that too.
Oh yeah, it's another one too that it's like it's so big and heavy that even flaps don't really slow you down that much. They just kind of keep you in the air. You know?
Well, the power to weight ratio isn't great, so
that one too. You got to be real careful. It's picky. If you turn too sharp, you'll fall right out of the sky. It's not as forgiving as a lot of these modern aircraft are.
Nope.
No, it is not. Hey, we got Cheesy
Mike.
Poof KC. Says, good evening, Captain. Hey, right on, Cheesy Poof. I know that name. I feel like I know him by a different name. Cheesy Poof. Alright, we are on course. Let's
I
right
got my
onto that
auto
pink
throttle
line.
on, but I was still buzzing at 280.
I never asked you when we were back at that airport. Did that fix your problem? You were able to see me even though you were close?
I think so, yeah. I think that
Good.
fixed it. It was unchecked.
Yeah, that's good. Even if that wasn't the problem, you still want to have that checked.
If I can get my airplane to slow down, I'll try to get over there with you and we'll test it.
Oh, there you are. You're way up there.
Yeah, I had my auto throttle on, but it was still doing 280. Finally got it to cooperate with me.
Yeah, I was running into that last week, and Laser had mentioned that if your throttle is set to full throttle and you go to adjust the auto throttle, it doesn't change it. You have to back your throttle out.
Yeah. If you're at full throttle or zero throttle, it will ignore your auto throttle. Like I said, what I usually do is I'll click auto throttle and then move my stick to about middle, move my throttle to about middle range, and then it'll find that sweet spot.
I'll back down to about 200 knots. Let you guys catch up.
I can see you're dropping back, falling back in a hurry. I'm going to go ahead and gain about 100 feet. That way we won't hit each other.
Coach just swapped paint with me, and I can still see him crystal clear.
I saw him zipping up there, man. He was in a hurry.
Yeah, so that worked.
Okay, we're solid. 150 miles out. Inbound for Mackay. Mackay. If I'm not mistaken, this is close to the southern part of the Great Barrier Reef. The Great Barrier Reef is just offshore here. We just flew along the entire thing. This is they call this the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef, but from the south end, not the north end. Hey yo.
Am I out in front? Is that what's
You are.
problem is here?
You are. Not by much, but you are.
I'm slowing up.
Yeah, Coast, sometime during this week, check out that video I made about the autopilot basics. And it'll give you, like, you know, the easy basics of how to use your altitude hold and things like that, you know, just your heading bug. It'll even tell you how to do an ILS approach and all that kind of stuff. And it's really pretty simple in that that Captain Sim Hercules that you got. It's pretty simple, man. It's all analog gauges, and it works pretty good if you do it right.
Yeah, so far I've been just hand flying this thing, and it's not. And this is
Well,
not
you're
too
looking
much
good.
of a piece.
Yeah,
Not too
you're
much of a-
following right along easily enough and doing all the landings. So yeah, you're looking great, man.
Well, you know, you do that just to get your hone your skills up too.
Well, sure.
I just like seeing your name up there.
I like seeing my name anywhere.
Let's see here, a little airport information. Our final stop of the evening is Yankee Bravo Mike Kilo, Mackay. So what we got here? Why don't we come in on runway 14, runway 14? There is no ILS frequency for this airport, but we got runway 14. It's a pretty big one, 6,500 feet. It's not quite as big as the last two airports we went to, but it's plenty big for us. Count on 14.
Okay, 14.
Set my course heading for that runway here. What do we got? 139er.
I just got a notification. Andy Rue's in the World of Warplanes.
Boy, I haven't seen Andy Rue in a long time. Long time. Was Andy Rue, he was that fellow that's big into helicopters, right?
No, it's not. That was somebody else. Andy Rue he's into everything.
I mean, I know he's one of the Australians that flies with us, one of the Aussies.
Yeah, Andy Rue. Got it?
Yeah, of course. It's hard to miss that. Oh, you know what? The other guy that liked the helicopter so much, his name was David, wasn't it? I just remember he he would make his own controls. He had his own homemade collective and all that he made from the throttle quadrant.
Yeah, you're starting to, if I ever get this thing working again, I'm going to have to replace my throttle quadrant and get a new one.
It's getting a little chunky.
Yeah, I don't like this one. It's the SATAC one.
Oh, right. Well, it depends on what you get. I mean, I think my X52 is technically a SATAC, but it's very nice. The X52, I got the X52 Pro. It's very nice.
I got the X. That's what I got. X52.
Do you? Yeah, I had one for like 10 years, and finally it just needed replacing. It was just old and clunky, and it had a bunch of dead spots. And I immediately replaced it with another one of the same kind, just because I loved it so much.
Yeah, I used the old Thrustmaster.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had a force feedback Thrustmaster that just did not seem to work well with 2020, so I went back to my SATAC, and this thing has got to be 20 years old, and it works just great.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while you can go in and maybe clean the pots out, and it'll work like brand new. Yeah, these Blackbird C-130s, the Dirty 30, not only is it like an advanced level aircraft where, it's a modern aircraft, it has all the bells and whistles, everything works, it's very well done, and it's worth every penny, but the airplanes themselves look great. Like, just the paint job on this thing is fantastic. Compared to the Captain Sim C-130, the Captain Sim C-130 just looks real basic. Real plain and basic and almost too clean. And this thing is dirty. You can see the nuts and bolts. You can see all the panels, and it just looks worn and used. And it's terrific. Like I said, the Captain Sim one is just almost a little too nice looking. It's too clean.
This one actually, the floorboards are dirty.
Nice. I like that. Plus, we got those cool fuzzy seat covers.
Yeah.
Like a fuzzy seat cover. Everybody gets one.
I used to have that in my old Toyota pickup when I was in high school. The sheepskin seat cover.
I drove a Gremlin in high school, and it had fuzzy seat covers too. I didn't have the fuzzy dice, though. That's too much.
No, I had to have the sheepskin seat covers because in Arizona, my Toyota had vinyl seats. So in the summertime, those seats got I always wear shorts, so I would stick to my seats if I didn't put them seat covers on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that TV show I've been watching, I just finally finished the first season, but it's called Pluribus. I've mentioned it before. It's on Apple Plus, and it's really good. It's by Vince Gilligan and that, and it's basically the same people that made Breaking Bad. It's nothing even close to similar to Breaking Bad. There's no similarities, except a lot of the actors, and it's great. But anyway, my whole point was in the first episode, I was rewatching the first episode, and they showed the interior of an aircraft, and it was the back of a C-130. And the second the camera showed the back of that C-130, I got excited because I'm like, oh, that's a C-130. There's no mistake in that. There's nothing else that quite looks like that, you know. And I was right. The lady climbed up in the front of the cockpit, started flipping switches, and they did the entire startup procedure, like for real. I mean, they showed what they were doing. It's like, hey, I'm impressed. They must have had an actual pilot come in and do it because they did everything correctly. You know, flip this, turn that, blah, blah, blah. You know, the engine number 3 comes on, then engine number 4 comes on, and then she did 1 and 2. It was very impressive, and you know how much I like this Hercules, so it was great to see it in real life. And that was kind of the point of the show. Like I said, in that Pluribus show, it's like a zombie apocalypse-ish kind of thing going on, where there's something happened, there's a radio broadcast, there's something going on that is making everybody like a hive mind. And instead of zombies that are mean trying to eat your brains, everybody in the world is a zombie who's like super nice and friendly. You know, they're almost too nice. It's creepy. And there's a handful of people who aren't affected by it. So they're the people that the show follows. And since it's a hive mind, everybody is a good pilot. Everybody is a good cook. Everybody is a good tennis player. You know what I mean? Just, it's a shared hive mind. So they just had this lady and she needed to get somewhere. And so she just hops in a C-130, starts it up and flies. You know, like it was nothing, you know. She's just still wearing her, you know, her freaking, you know, house clothes. You know, she's clearly not a pilot, but she knows everything about it. It's an interesting show. Love that bird, Kineas. There's nothing that looks more natural with a C-130 than some kind of fighter jet. That is the best escort. "106 miles out from our final destination tonight. I'm already digging flying around Australia. I know I would. We've flown here quite a number of times before. But it's real nice here. I like they have a good number of airports, you know what I'm saying? So it's always easy to put together a flight plan because there's airports all over. So it's pretty cool. I like it here. And just looking at the profile of that F-16 that Kineas is in, I can see where there's people that see stuff like that and think it's a UFO. It looks like a flying saucer from the front. Jeezy Poop KC, he says, when I moved to my current location, I had C-130s flying touch and goes. Ooh, rattling my windows. He was in heaven. I would have been in heaven too. I love these C-130s, man. That's great. They are loud, though. I tell you what. My dad was in the Army for 20 years, retired pilot now. And he said there was just nothing louder than being in a C-130. Well, Bob knows that, but Bob worked on them in the military. That was his job.
Yep. Kind of miss it, but, you know, life goes on.
Yep. Just, you know, one of the things that people don't think of with aviation, but just, you'll notice it at, like, air shows and stuff, but just one of the things I like is just the smells. You know, the smell of avgas is great. You know, it feels legit. It feels like a thing, you know. It's not just the sights and sounds, but the smells are just fantastic.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I remember getting up, going to work on the flight line and smelling JP4. First
Yep.
thing you smell. And then the fumes from the jets, all the airplanes firing up.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if they use traditional avgas anymore. but that's a very particular smell right there.
Like when I used to race dirt bikes years ago, you could smell that racing fuel we used to use.
Mhm.
Had a sweet smell to it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, like remember those Cox airplanes that we all
Oh
had?
yeah, I love that smell.
Oh my God, yeah, just those little tiny sub-stroke engines. That was pretty cool.
0.049 Cox engines.
Yep.
Had one of those too.
They would take your finger off if you didn't get
your
finger out of the way when you started.
I remember you'd have to fly it around on the end of a rope, on the end of a string.
Yep.
Just kind of go around and around in a circle until you couldn't do it anymore.
Well, and the funny thing is, I guess it's kind of making a comeback because I came across some YouTube videos a few months ago for some guys that were doing it, but these things were like built-up planes that were like 2 or 3 times the size of what I used to fly, and the strings they were using were probably 3 times as long too, and they're out in this massive field just flying around in circles with the thing. It's like, are they making a comeback?
Yeah.
I love it. I used to just fly mine in the driveway.
I mean, nowadays it just why not just use remote control? It's so much easier. Back in the day, you really didn't have much remote control. You had to use a string.
Well, when you're 12, 13 years old, you couldn't afford a remote control airplane. You had to buy what I could buy at Kmart.
Right. Back then, it wouldn't work very well, and it would be super expensive. Warthog wants to know what's our next stop. We are inbound to our final airport right now. Let's see here. I'll give you some deets on it. Our final destination is Yankee Bravo Mike Kilo. Yankee Bravo Mike Kilo. It'd be a good place to spawn in, and you could backtrack and meet us here. And we'll all land together. We're just under 100 miles out. Well, about 88. So yeah.
I've got on the way home from into our neighborhood. There's this ranch that they do like festivals and stuff. It's called That Ranch. So they do like pumpkin patch stuff and corn maze and all that stuff. Well, they started assembling an airplane out there, and it's right on the highway, and it looks a lot like a goose. It just doesn't have the engines on it yet, but they brought the wings in. They put the wings on it.
So you're still not 100% sure what it's going to be when it's done?
No, I mean, it's all
cool
together.
if it was a
the only thing
goose.
it doesn't have now is the engines. So
Right,
I need to stop by and take a picture of it and post it and say, what the heck is this thing? But
it would be pretty
obviously,
cool if it was a goose. I like that
Yeah,
goose.
they don't plan on flying. Yeah, I'm sure that they're not planning on flying it. I think they're using it more because it's more of a museum type place.
Sure.
And the fact that this plane is not in any condition to ever fly again, but it's real. I mean, they got it all together. The only thing missing right now is just the engines. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Warthog wants to know if he can suggest an airport or two. Yeah, please go ahead and suggest them. I can't 100% guarantee that we're going to make it to them, but I'll try to keep that in mind as I'm making flight plans. And if one of those happens to be where we're kind of going, I would love to go there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch my CDI over to VOR1. That way I can see we're almost straight in for that runway, like real close to straight in here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to the left just a little bit. By the time we get there, we're going to be lined up perfectly. What a beautiful sunset. I am almost a little surprised that we haven't seen any kangaroos on the runway yet. That's one thing I know about flying around Australia. You'll see kangaroos. Like in the game.
Did you see sheep at the first runway we were at?
I have seen sheep places before, but not around here. I haven't seen any animals in quite a while, actually.
In our departure runway, there were sheep at the end of the runway.
Really? Well, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't have them. I think it goes individually. It's kind of random, and it randomizes it for each individual person. So like one person might have animals, and the next person might not. But one thing I've seen in Australia quite a bit when we're flying around here is it's pretty common to see kangaroos and camels. I saw a lot of camels at airports before too. Which, by the way, that's a good trivia question to stump your friends. Just ask them, where do most camels in the world come from? Like if you were living someplace in the world and you wanted to order a camel, where would you order it from? Well, they'd come from Australia. Australia has more camels than any place on earth. And you think, well, that can't be. You'd think like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. Nope. They get all of their camels from Australia. Apparently what happened a long time ago, way back in the day, camels aren't even really native to Australia. But, of course, people brought camels to Australia, and they started breeding them. And next thing you know, they're super successful. They love it here. This place was built for camels. They absolutely love the outback. And now there's camels everywhere. There's so many camels around here. So now it's like if you want to get a camel, this is the place to go.
It's like the peacocks around here.
Yeah. Watch out. You're going to be everywhere.
Yeah. Back when all the tourists started showing up, they started bringing in peacocks and letting them loose. And now there's certain areas I go into that you swear it sounds like a bunch of babies crying.
They liked it there, huh? Yeah, I've never minded peacocks. The place I grew up in Germany, the landlady had peacocks in the yard running around. I thought that was odd. I was a kid. I never saw a peacock before. I mean, I knew what they were, but I didn't know people had peacocks for pets. But yeah, even in Germany, peacocks get along just fine. It was pretty interesting with peacocks. Is like basically you drop them off where you want them to be. Like she brought them to the backyard and immediately fed them. Immediately, as soon as you bring them there, you feed them, and they're never going anywhere else. That's where they live. They had no interest in even going to the neighbor's yard. They would just stay in the yard. As long as they kept getting fed, they wouldn't go anywhere. It was weird because they could fly and everything, but they wouldn't bother. They'd just stay in the yard looking all pretty. It was looking nice around here, guys. A couple beautiful silhouettes happening.
See, I've got live weather and time, so it's only like probably like 11:58 to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like almost dead noon.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't have to change the time too awful much, but I did change it. Oop, I think I might have screwed you guys up by doing that. Let's see here. Well, yeah, I'm about 5 o'clock right now. We're less than 60 out at this point, so bear in mind we're not going to have to do much to line up at that runway. We're already lined up, but we're going to have to drop her down. So when I'm about 30 out, I'm going to begin my descent down to 2,500. Warthog, thanks for those suggestions. I'm going to write those down on my little notepad here. I'll keep my eyes open for those. Amberley Air Base, that kind of sounds familiar. Like we may have been there before, and that bodes well. Plus, air bases always have huge runways. That's nice. We are making good time tonight. Plus, like I said, it was a slightly shorter flight than usual. It's always difficult to get the exact perfect timing. You got to take the runways they give you, and sometimes that's just what you got. But yeah, it wasn't too short of a flight. We're going to be doing right around 2.5 hours, which is what I try to do. Man, that F-18 is sharp. Isn't that the one they gave us for free with the Top Gun Maverick download?
Yeah.
That's
For
pretty cool.
2020.
Yeah.
If you got it in 2020, then you carry it over to 2024.
That's cool. I like that.
I'm guessing that, I don't know if you just went straight to 2024 without having 2020. I don't know if you still got it. You might have gotten it, but it's not like the Top Gun or anything.
Right.
It's just
Yeah, you
the
probably
F-18.
don't have the missions or whatever, but they might give it to you just for the fact that it's a completed aircraft, and why not?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you just make it part of the defaults.
Yeah, because it's same with the one from Dune. The license didn't carry over to 2024 for Top Gun.
Right.
Apparently, they're making a Top Gun 3 now.
Well, that's cool. The first two were great. Even that second one, it's like, I don't know, I think a lot of people probably weren't expecting the second one to be all that great. You know, it's like, it's been forever since they did it, and who knows what they're going to do this time, yada, yada, yada. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a great movie, man. Loved it. Yeah, Kineas, I agree. That Dune Ornithopter, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed flying that. I'm guessing that, I don't know, did that carry over to 24?
No.
I mean, even if you have it, you can't fly it in 24?
I don't think so.
I don't remember seeing it. And there's probably huge licensing issues for that for sure. I mean, the F-16 is the F-16. They can't license that. But they can license the missions. So the missions aren't available for sure. But that Ornithopter, that's straight up a fictional, licensed,
Yeah.
copyrighted type thing that they might not be able to use that anymore. Got a guy called Hey, it's Lazy, saying hello, sir. Well, hello, Lazy. It's good to see you. Happy Friday. Kineas points out that Dune 3 is coming out, and yeah, that would be cool. Maybe they could have some kind of connection with Dune 3. They already, they already know the people, and they've already done it once, so maybe they can have a cool Dune 3 kind of a tie-in.
Just a different Dune.
Just a different Dune. What a beautiful looking evening here, flying around the skies of Australia near Mackay International. Right on. Hey, it's Lazy. Subscribed and hit that bell. Awesome. I love that. That's cool, buddy. I love that. I always enjoy when I'm subscribing to somebody. As I'm clicking subscribe and like, I say to myself, I'm going to allow this. And that just gives me a big sense of pride and a big feeling of, accomplishment. There you go. I'm going to allow this. You're welcome.
Just looked at the effective date of my chart that I'm using for in the EFP. It was effective as of March 19, 2026.
Really?
So at least they're keeping pretty current with the charts.
Oh, I just realized we're close. We're only about 35 out. I'm not worried about turning much to get lined up, but I am going to drop it down 2,500. All right, here we go. Again, good luck on this knob. This seems to have a mind of its own. Alright, everything seems to work okay. Good deal. It didn't send me into orbit. It's just sending me peacefully down to 2,500.
I found that when I want to go down, it seems to work great. Just a couple of clicks and it just slowly descends. But when I tried to go back up on like the last leg, it shot me straight down.
Yeah, like alarmingly sometimes. I seem to have better luck. Like this time, like I said, before I rotated it to go down, I trimmed down a little bit. But since I had the altitude select going, it didn't actually trim me. but it did move my ailerons in the back. And then when I activated it, everything seemed to be okay. Alright, I better descend a little quicker than this though, I'll never get there. Alright, we're 29 miles out, runway 19er, Mackay International. Almost directly lined up with that. I'm going to be turning final when I am. Only a few degrees off. That would be the difference between this arrow and that arrow. So like I mentioned earlier, it's only about a 6,500 foot runway, but that's almost twice as much as we need. Kineas is going to appreciate that though. Get that F-16 down nice and smooth. You'll notice that it's already starting to look much less tropical. That northern Queensland area is very, well, it's considered tropical. We're moving out of that. One out. So Lazy says he's flying his C-130 tomorrow. It's a nice airplane too. I like that. If I'm not mistaken, that used to be, there was a version of that a company called the Spartan. I think that's what it was. It's like a small Hercules that only has 2 engines, but it's pretty cool. I like it. The one I flew was pretty high tech. That was a long time ago though. That was back in the FSX days. Matter of fact, I think Blackbird Simulations might have a C-130. Alright, time to start thinking about slowing down. Get those flaps going. $16 out.
I wish I knew why someone keeps texting me in my aircraft and it keeps making it go ding ding.
Makes that sound usually when there's a change in either like a course or speed, things like that. It's just to let you know of a change. I hear it all the time. I'm flying on VOR heading. I picked up that VOR. Are you? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks like I'm about to. Yep, I just captured it, right? Or just
I did
started
too.
making my turn. You on 139 for the course?
Let me see. I think that's right. Yep, Yep.
Okay.
139. Well, actually, mine says 138, but it's locking me on though. Captured it. Distance of 12.7.
Yeah, I'm at 14.4. I'm going to follow Coastin and see what kind of show he puts on.
Remember the trees last week.
Well, if it happens again, just jump out of your aircraft and start waving your flags. We'll come pick you up.
Laser, you got quiet. Did you shut your mic off again?
I did. I've been sitting here talking forever, probably. I did.
Sorry.
Well, it's just I'm trying not to cough in everybody's ear or whatnot, and then I forget all about it. Yep, about an 8-mile final going on here, and looking good. Yeah, the worst part of it is I don't know how long ago it is that I muted it. It could have been 45 minutes ago. I don't know. And you know the weirdest part? I'm sitting here talking, and then you guys talk, and I think you're responding to what I said. It's like, okay, I don't know. Apparently you weren't. I'm going to bring her down to 130. That'll be my final ref.
I'm on your 6. I'm bringing it down to 130 so I don't run over you.
Right on. Like I said, we got this guy called Potato up here in a Piper Dakota.
Mr. Potato Head can fly? Wow.
I don't know, this guy looks like he's on the ground. But like I said, he'd probably be pretty surprised when all of a sudden here comes 4 C-130s and a fighter jet.
Hi, Coach. Well, you better slow down.
Hey, yo. Don't forget your gear, buddy. Yeah, doesn't Blackbird Simulations make a nice C-160? I thought they had something like that.
I don't. They make the CH-46 or MH-46, the helicopter. I don't think they make the C-160.
Isn't the C-160 is like a it's like a Hercules but with two engines, two-engine Hercules kind of thing, right? Real nice high tech. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. Like I said, I'm not sure if I mentioned that with my mic off, but I was talking about it earlier. That back in the FSX days, I had a really nice one. I think it was from Aerosoft. I used to fly that all the time. They used to call it the Spartan. Don't forget your auto throttles, and we are on final.
it's just about dark on me. Everything's lit up. The runway's lit up. All the city lights are on. That looks really cool right now.
Yeah, it's pretty right now. It's not quite dark, but it's dark enough to give you some real nice colors. Well, let's see. What's a good place to park around here? Whoop. Sorry, Wingnut. Here I am sitting on the runway just daydreaming.
That's okay. I saw you stopping. I went over your head.
Well, how about over here? I'm going to get off the runway. I don't even really see a tower around here, but you know they got to have one. Oh, there it is. I'm not taxiing all the way over there. Let's just pull up on the side of the road here. And we'll park up and look all pretty.
They got an apron over there on the other side.
Hey, Potato found us. Right on. Yeah, just on the other side. Yeah, we could go over there. Doesn't look like a whole lot of room, but there's enough. We just park right here. Park right over here like we're not supposed to. Yeah, Cheesy Poop says he flew that Spartan many hours in FSX. Yeah, that was a pretty cool airplane. It was like I said, it was like a real high-tech Hercules, smaller, 2 engines. If I'm not mistaken, what happened with that one too is I think they kept having problems with it. The people that were making it, I don't know exactly what problems they were having. I bought it for full price, and I loved it. And then I don't know, within a year they were just giving it away for free because there was issues. I don't know if the issues were really causing me to have any problems, but they were giving it away for free eventually. Well, that was after I bought it. Well, let's see here. Let's get this beast shut down.
It gets louder when you open up that back door.
It gets way louder, doesn't it? Yeah, Kenia says, after landing, she is not responding. No nose control. I will say thank you for the flight from here. And have a great weekend. Well, you too, Kenius. Yeah, hopefully you get that sorted out. That is not an uncommon issue. A number of us around here have had that in the C-130. Not that F-16, but the C-130 has done it before. It's a mystery. But yeah, it's good seeing you, Kenius. I'm going to try to catch one of your streams this weekend. I love watching you. Take care, buddy. Try to see if I can walk up inside my C-130 here. Oh, for a second I thought it was going to let me, but it did not. Heyo. Nice power unit. It's kind of floating a little bit.
It's on the ground to me.
Is it? Yeah, for me it's about, I don't know, at my knees.
Oh, yeah, no, mine, I got, looks good to me. My plane looks really weathered. I don't know what started that way or what, but it looks
Got
like
dirty
the paint's
along the
all
way?
Faded. No, the paint's all faded and everything on it.
Yeah, it looks kind of old and scratched. Looks used. It looks good.
Let's see.
What a nice looking group of birds.
Took the drone over there across the runway at the airport. There's not much to see over there. A lot of tennis courts for some reason, but other than that, everything looks weird.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like probably the facilities at the airport are behind us. Like that's where the tower is and everything. But yeah, there is, yeah, like a bunch of tennis courts around here. What's that all about? You know what? These might not be tennis courts. These are soccer fields. They got nets and everything. Weird.
Well, there's some are the blue or,
Oh, yeah.
and then there's some that are a light color, green or whatever. Like some are a mix. There's a mix. Some of them are tennis courts and some of them are soccer fields.
Some kind of sports facility going on here right at the airport. Weird. Oh yeah, I see the tennis courts for sure. Wow. Yeah, I wonder what the deal is here. Is Mackay known for this kind of thing? Did they have a Olympics here at one time?
I don't know.
This is clearly not part of the airport, but it's like right across the runway from it. I don't know. There are airplanes here. Got some biplanes over here. Yep, next week we are flying out of here, continuing to the south along the coast until we get to New Zealand. I don't think we're going to quite make it to New Zealand again next week. We're going to be flying here for a few more weeks at least, probably closer to a month and a half. And like Longhorn mentioned, that there's going to be an update for Australia before too long. And I think we're still going to be here for that, so that'd be great.
Well, if it comes out next week, then next Friday we might be seeing it.
Oh, really? Cool.
Well, I've also heard one of the other guys, I guess they, Jorg or whoever the Microsoft Flight Sim head honcho was, they had a live thing on YouTube, and he's saying that the Sim Update 5 should be out next week too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm thinking that the World Update will be next week.
Yeah, they're
They
usually
coincide.
they're usually kind of connected. Pretty neat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it an evening here, guys. I'm going to shut the stream down. As always, it's a pleasure flying with everybody. And we had a great time tonight. It was good to see everybody up in the air, especially Coast. Get that thing going on. And yeah, we're going to meet back here next Friday night. We're going to continue flying south and have a good old time doing that. So everybody, please have a good weekend. Like and subscribe. Put a smile on your face and have a good time. We'll see you next Friday. Bye now.